Sharif Nasir in Mombasa, saying it was deliberate that the election in Mombasa was postponed. He claims that the Azimio strongholds were targeted. So we'll look at that. But first, just what do you make, Carol, on the face of things, of the statement by Wafula Chebukati that these 4 dissenting commissioners demanded that the chairperson, quote unquote, moderates the results for purposes of forcing an election rerun?
Yes. In the interest of full disclosure, I will say I've sat here from day one, remember, even on the voting day, and I told you I am a big fan of the independence. I am not a believer of binaries that we must think either in terms of white or black. So, yesterday we spent more than an hour here discussing the veracity of the statements that the 4 commissioners made, the 0.01 and all these things that they made. If we did that, to be fair and to be very objective, we must as well take this statement by Mr. Wafula Chebukati with equal seriousness. So if those commissioners said whatever they said, that dissenting said all these things happened, then it means that it behoves us to give this statement equal weight. What he's saying here is actually extremely serious. He is saying that at that meeting at 3 p.m., when those other guys were saying that Mr. Chebukati came and was foisting the election result on them, he is saying at that particular time, before final declaration of the presidential election result, the 4 commissioners, and he names them, those 4 dissenting ones, demanded, and you see, I am usually very intentional when I see certain words, demanded that the chairperson moderates the results for purpose of forcing an rerun contrary to their oath of office. Now, I want us to look at the word moderate. I work in a university. In the university system, when we are looking at marks, and the professors to my both sides will attest to this, when we moderate results, exam results are placed in front of us at the departmental level. Before now, they go to the faculty, and then they go to Senate. And then now you get the final result, whether you've passed, you are graduating or not. When we are at that point, usually the people who get 38, 39, because the pass mark at the university is 40. Any mark below 40 is a fail. If you get 37, 38, 39, everybody sits down and says, why has this student gotten 37 or 39? And we see that in the other courses, you know, they are getting 60 or 65. Is it possible to moderate, to round off these marks to the nearest 0, which might be 40, so that this student doesn't fail this particular unit, so that they don't have to come for, to do a supplementary? That is called moderating. So when I saw that term moderate, for me, that is the picture it brings to mind, because this is what we do. What then Chebukati is claiming was going on here is that these four commissioners were asking that let us sit down and do moderation. Moderation, to me, at this particular moment, becomes a level of massage. Let's try and massage some of these numbers. Let's try and do, like a balancing act to force a rerun. That is a very serious allegation. And people from both sides of the political divide, whether you are on the Kenya Kwanza side or on the Azimio side, you should be concerned when a chair of the IEBC comes and says this. Why? Assuming it was Azimio in the lead, and commissioners come and tell you as the IEBC chair, let us do moderation so that we do a rerun. How would you feel if you were on the winning side and the people who appear, and for me, it's of high concern that we have an IEBC where people are clearly partisan. I am on this side and I want my candidate to win. Therefore, I am suggesting. And we see this even at the university moderation. If it's my student, and I will say, I think maybe this semester, this student appears to have been having a problem. They were probably unwell. They were missing classes. I don't know if they were having issues at the home front. Let us have some mercy and bump this number up to 40 so that they can pass. Another lecturer will say, no, I know this student, and this student is usually lazy, and this. I want that mark to remain at 30 so they can fail and come for her. So at the end of the day, when you have these two dissenting voices, we usually have a middle part, somebody saying, listen guys, let's not punish this young person. And then at the end of the day, we come to a conclusion. Either the person comes for supplementary or the person, the marks are bumped up to 40 and they pass. That is at that level. So when you have an IEBC that is split, and everybody is saying my candidate must win, assuming it was Azimio in the lead, and somebody is telling you, let us moderate this so that we force a rerun. That is of concern. That it means that people can sit down in a boardroom, which is what Chebukati is claiming, can sit down in the boardroom and subvert the will of the Kenyan voter. We have been telling people, register to vote, go and vote. It's okay, you can line up, there's no problem.
Every vote counts.
Every vote counts. If every vote counts, and then Wafula Chebukati is here, and we must take this statement with the weight it deserves, because we took the statement of the other four yesterday with the weight that their statements deserved. If somebody is telling you every vote counts, and somebody here is saying, hapana, we want a rerun because we think this election is too close to call. How is it too close to call when, even if it's one vote, remember even Prof to my right has been saying, even one vote, if the person has won 50% plus one vote, that person is a winner. So you have people sitting and demanding, let us moderate this result because we want a rerun. For me, if this actually happened, and we must take it with the possibility that it happened, this is subversion. This is actually, I think, and of course, I don't want to use very strong words, this is a treasonable offense. If we were to take this honestly and objectively, this is irregular and this is very serious, if it happened.